Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. I'm your host, Rusty Peace, and we've got another great week of LMU athletics to talk with you about tonight. We've got a lot going on in the upcoming week, but we've had a lot take place in the last week or so. One of the biggest announcements that I need to tell you about, the Lincoln Memorial University Athletics Department announced Tuesday morning that Josh Schertz and the men's basketball team would venture south to Tallahassee, Florida on October the 30th. To take on Atlantic Coast Conference champion Florida State University. Now that in and of itself is a monumental task, but wow, they're going to be going down there to play one of the best teams in the country. I think last year Florida State finished inside the top 10. They've got 4 of their 5 top scorers returning from a year ago, 3 of their 4 top rebounding players. So that's going to be a big task for Josh Schertz and his team. However, a big recruiting tool as well, and we want to wish them the best of luck in those endeavors. Some other big announcements coming up later, and we'll tell you about those later on. Stay with us.
Sigmund Communications is your local radio and television stations bringing your local information, local news, and the best music from yesterday and today. Sigmund Communications was established in 1987 on the campus of Lincoln Memorial University. Since then, we have been involved in community events and other projects. Sigmund Communications is not only your local radio and television stations, but we are a learning facility aimed at educating students in the field of broadcast communications. Sigmund Communications, not just the great building with satellites that sits on the hill.
We're now MediaStream, bringing home to you more and more improvements. As your hometown team, we're dedicated to bringing our friends and neighbors more service upgrades than ever before. Always available 24/7 customer service and technical support. 30-day money-back guarantee on services. Improved bundles that will save you money. Get ready to do more of the things you love with the people you love and with savings you'll love. Call 1-800-392-2662 for details. MediaStream, bringing it home to you.
Bringing it home to you.
Since 1973, DeRoyal has been a leader and an innovator in manufacturing products for the healthcare industry. DeRoyal supplies more than 20,000 products and product lines such as acute care, orthopedics, wound care, and trauma. DeRoyal is proud to be the largest supplier of orthopedic soft goods to clinics and hospitals in the nation. Since its start in Tazewell, Tennessee, DeRoyal has grown to open factories in over 29 locations worldwide and employs over 2,000 people. DeRoyal, a name you can trust and an employer you can count on.
Looking for efficient, compassionate, and comprehensive health care for you and your family? Visit the University Medical Clinic. All providers are faculty members of LMU's DeBus College of Osteopathic Medicine and are board certified in their specialty. Multiple specialties available including family medicine, internal medicine, OBGYN, and osteopathic manipulative medicine, with locations in Harrogate and New Tazewell, and most insurance plans accepted. The University Medical Clinic is here to serve you. Call 423-869-7193 for an appointment. University Medical Clinic.
Welcome back to the show. Before we get started, I need to tell you that to keep up to date on all that's going on with Lincoln Memorial University Athletics, pull up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. You'll find all the latest scores, facts, statistics, player profiles, roster schedules, news releases, and much more. And that is the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. Let's get started. Last week got started with the Lincoln Memorial University tennis program as they hosted the LMU Speed Tournament here on campus. Carson Newman, Tusculum College, and the University of Cumberland joined Lincoln Memorial University in the all-day event that wrapped up somewhere around 6 p.m. on Friday. While the event wasn't an official match and won't be counted as regular season play, it did give the individual players from the schools participating the opportunity to play outside competition and to gauge the caliber of the other conference opponents.
Well, last Friday, Rusty, we had the LMU Speed Tournament. What happened on that, the way the format is set up, it's for you to play as many people as possible. You can play up to 3 doubles matches and 3 singles matches. What happens is we play an 8-game pro set, or we play to 1 hour. You got a 1 hour time limit. What this does, it keeps you from playing too much, but it gets you enough play, and you get to see a couple teams in our conference. You get to see someone else that we're going to play during the regular season, and it sort of lets us look at the outside competition of some of the people we're going to play, and let the players sort of get a feel of what's going to happen when they play these teams, how strong they are, and what we've got to do to make sure that we can beat these guys and ladies.
With the ITA tournament and the LMU Speed tournament now behind them, the Lincoln Memorial University men's and women's tennis teams are now idle until October 6th when they travel to Williamsburg, Kentucky for the University of the Cumberland's fall tournament. The event will conclude the 2012 fall season for both squads. And turning to other LMU sports news, Friday evening, the Lincoln Memorial University volleyball team played its home opener when the Lady Railsplitters hosted the Falcons from the University of Montevallo. The match was a regional match, and Jenny Michael and the LMU women didn't squander the opportunity. LMU reeled off 25-20, 25-17, and 25-21 victories to improve to 6-3 on the season and 1-0 at home.
It was honestly all on us. We were making a lot of errors, a lot of mistakes. We had hitting errors, and just we had a little bit of a letdown coming in after the break. But one of the things that's been really fun about this team is they believe in each other. And, you know, honestly, last weekend we were in a fifth set. We were down 8-3 at the turn, and we still believed. We fought, we came back, and they showed that today in the third set for sure.
On Saturday, the Lady Railsplitters traveled to Jefferson City, Tennessee to participate in the annual Carson-Newman Classic hosted by SAC rival Carson-Newman College. In the opening match of the day, the Lady Railsplitters once again rolled up a 3-0 victory to knock off University of North Carolina Pembroke 25-22, 25-19, and 25-10 to pick up their 7th win of the year. Unfortunately, that's where the Lady Splitters' 5-match win streak came to an end as Palm Beach Atlantic beat LMU in straight sets 25-22, 25-23, and 25-13 in the final match of the weekend to put the LMU women at 7-4 on the season. On Tuesday evening, the LMU women traveled to Mars Hill, North Carolina for their South Atlantic Conference opener and were again upended by the Lions of Mars Hill College 3-0 to fall to 7-5 overall. The Lady Splitters lost 25-20, 25-22, and 31-29 en route to their 5th loss of the season and their 2nd consecutive loss. This Saturday and Sunday, Jenny Michael and her teams travel south to South Carolina to take on Anderson University and Newberry College. Saturday's match with the Trojans gets underway at 7 p.m., while Sunday's bout with the Wolves is set for a 2 o'clock start. And turning to women's soccer, from last Friday, that is, the LMU women's soccer team, they successfully opened their 2012 South Atlantic Conference schedule with a road win over the Lions of Mars Hill College. Playing for the first time in a week, the Lady Railsplitters won a grueling 1-0 decision in overtime against the Lions when freshman Josephine Hedstrom scored unassisted on a free kick in the 98th minute to lift LMU to victory. The victory puts the LMU women at 1-0 in conference play, while their overall record moves to 3-1, and head coach Helly O'Dana was pleased with how his young team performed.
Yeah, without doubt, anytime you open in conference and you win, that's a plus, and Mars Hill is not an easy place to play. Artificial turf is always an adjustment, and the women, so many young players, quite possibly some of them playing that surface for the first time. But Mars Hill is improved. They really not surprised us because we scouted them, but they really have made a lot of strides from last year. But if you look at the statistics of the game, we dominated every aspect of it. We outshot them, outpossessed them, and as far as just 50-50 balls, we won all of them. So it would have been really unfair if there's such a thing for us to lose the game. We had about 4 clear chances to score, and it took one last shot in overtime to win the game, which we'll take it. But hopefully we don't cut this close for the next few games when we have the chances to score.
Wednesday evening, the Lady Railsplitters traveled over to Jefferson City, Tennessee to take on the Eagles of Carson-Newman College in South Atlantic Conference play. Jefferson City is always a tough place to play for the LMU women, and Wednesday evening's match was no exception. The Lady Eagles came out firing on all 8 cylinders as Michaela Gregg scored the opening goal of the match at the 31:58 mark and on a penalty kick after a hard foul on the inside of the box from LMU. From there, it was all Lady Railsplitters. The LMU women tied the match less than 7 minutes later when Josephine Hedstrom scored her 2nd goal of the year on a shot from 30 yards out to even the score at 1-1. In the early minutes of the second half, Rachel Vanaud scored again to put LMU up 2-1 on a corner kick that was just over the Carson-Newman keeper's head. Actually, while Vanaud's goal turned out to be the game winner, LMU newcomer Olivia Thompson gave the Lady Railsplitters some insurance in the 81st minute on a shot from the left side of the box that was over the goalkeeper's head. A few minutes later, LMU came away with a 3-1 win, over the Lady Eagles to improve to 2-0 in South Atlantic Conference play and 4-1 overall. Saturday, the LMU women host league opponent Lenore Ryan University at home on the LMU soccer field in their home opener. First touch for Saturday's match is set for 1 p.m. Turning to men's soccer, the Lincoln Memorial University men's soccer team suffered its first loss of the season last Friday evening when the Railsplitters traveled over to Mars Hill, North Carolina, and lost a 2-1 decision to the Lions of Mars Hill College. The match marks the second consecutive time the Lions have gotten the best of the Railsplitters in as many tries, and clearly Coach Dana was disappointed with the loss.
This men's match was one of the really best played matches that we've been involved with probably in the past 2-3 years. You're talking the top 2 teams in the conference easily. 22 shots for us, 21 shots for them. I was looking at our highlights, maybe 8 chances to score for us, 4 chances to score. When I say 4 or 8, that means clear chances. So it was a great match. You know, it's just unfortunate that at the end of the day with 4 they put 2 in, and with 8 we only put 1 in. But that's the way it goes. But we really feel the pressure because you open with a loss in conference. But we really have all the elements and ingredients to have an incredible run from here on out. You know, I mean, hopefully. We'll catch a break that Mars Hill will not clean the slates, and if they do, they deserve to be champions. But we're taking one match at a time. That's all we can say.
On Wednesday evening, the Railsplitters moved over to Jefferson City, Tennessee to take on the Eagles of Carson Newman College in an effort to get the lion off their backs. As a result, LMU's men quickly found that the Eagles' talons were just as sharp as the Lions' claws. Carson Newman banged back-to-back goals against the Railsplitters in the first 12 minutes of the match to take a commanding 2-0 lead. Despite numerous Railsplitter attempts, Carson Newman denied LMU the opportunity to get back in the match until the 85th minute when senior midfielder Chris Nash bounced a shot off the crossbar and into the net. LMU's attack, while valiant over the next 5 minutes, fell short, and the Eagles handed the Railsplitters their second consecutive loss of the year. Now 0-2 in league play and 3-2 overall, the Railsplitters have until next Saturday to reload for the firepower they need to take on the Bears of Lenoir-Rhyne University, and they're going to be hungry when they come to Harrogate for a 3:30 first touch. Turning to cross country, last Saturday the LMU cross country teams ventured over the Clinch Mountain into Morristown, Tennessee for the annual cross country challenge hosted by Carson Newman College at Panther Creek State Park. The event marks the 3rd time in as many weeks the LMU cross-country teams have competed in collegiate play, and for the 3rd consecutive time, the Lady Railsplitters captured a 2nd-place finish, placing behind only Milligan College, who took the title with a team score of 34. The LMU women garnered a combined score of 54 for 2nd place, while Covenant, Carson Newman, Tennessee Westland, Maryville, Tusculum, and UVA-Wise rounded out the field. In men's action from the cross-country challenge, the Railsplitters captured the best finish of the season when they too took 2nd place at the Carson Newman cross-country challenge. Only 7 schools participated in the men's 8K event, and the Railsplitters, who turned in a team score of 45, were narrowly edged by Tennessee Wesleyan College, who finished the race with a combined score of 35. Tusculum, Carson Newman, UVA-Wise, Covenant, and Maryville College completed the field respectively, and the LMU cross-country teams have until the end of the month to prepare for the Greater Louisville Classic to be held in Louisville, Kentucky, and that'll be on September 29th. When we return, we're going to be talking with LMU softball coach, newly hired softball coach, Natalie Layden. We're going to talk about some of her background and what she expects from her young team in the upcoming spring season. Stay with us right here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
Families adopt children from around the world and in our own backyard.
I am teaching ethics to the next generation of lawyers.
I will make a difference for the underserved of this region.
I will be an advocate for my clients.
As a prosecutor, I fought for those who couldn't speak for themselves.
I'm a lawyer and professor.
I will be a lawyer.
I will be a lawyer.
I will be a lawyer.
I guess we'll take Morty.
Yes. Pick last. Ouch. A vault will put you back on top. It quenches and kicks. Incoming! Yeah! You're a super soda mercenary! Vault! Drinks like a soda, kicks like an energy drink. Get to it!
History comes alive at the Abraham Lincoln Library and Museum on the campus of Lincoln Memorial University in Harrogate, Tennessee. Located 60 miles north of Knoxville and 5 minutes from the entrance of Cumberland Gap National Historic Park, the museum is home of one of the largest privately held Lincoln collections in the country.
A place to learn and play. My museum includes interactive exhibits as well as special events and educational programs. For more information, go to www.lmu.net.edu.
We represent the Coke brand. We would like to sue Coca-Cola Zero.
Would you say that we have a case?
For what?
For taste infringement.
We want to just sue them back to the Stone Age to send a message that they're tampering with really the flagship of the company.
It's one company. It's like you suing yourself.
Yeah, but they're on a different part of our floor.
Da, 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 da. Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. As promised, Natalie Layden, our new Lincoln Memorial University softball coach, joins us in studio now. And, Coach, first of all, welcome to the show. Welcome to Lincoln Memorial University, and we're glad to have you with the Lady Railsplitter program.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Coach, you've got an impressive track record. I was looking at your profile here before you came into the studio a little bit early on, and I want to start really with a comment that Roger Vanoy made about your background. And he says, in her first 7 years of coaching at the collegiate level, she has been a part of 3 consecutive championships, 2 conference tournament championships, 3 NCAA appearances, 1 regional championship, and 1 College World Series appearance, finishing 5th in the country. That's not a monkey. That's an 800-pound gorilla on your back coming in here.
It is. It definitely provides a little bit of pressure, but we're excited to get started and hopefully reach those levels here at LMU as well.
Now, you come to us as no stranger to the South Atlantic Conference. You spent some time over at Wingate University, and of course, let me start with a little humor here. Is it Wingate or Wingate?
Well, to the locals, it would be Wingate, and some of the old timers there. But as far as the proper pronunciation that I think of,
it's easy for you to say.
Yes, would be Wingate.
Well, you know, I've talked with the AD over there. I've talked with Dave Sherwood, my buddy over there in sports information. Everybody differs on that over there. And it's kind of like, think of Harrogate, Harrogate. We say Harrogate, not Harrogate. So I guess it's whichever side of the mountain you're on, or the right emphasis on the wrong syllable, you know, if you know what I'm saying. Coach, let's get back to softball. You have taken over an LMU softball program that really finished below the bar last year. I mean, they finished lower than I've seen them finish in several years. Nonetheless, I was down there yesterday to get some B-roll footage of what we use here on the show, and I really didn't recognize very many women on the team there. So you've got a relatively young team to start with. We do. We have a very young team, and even some of our older athletes don't necessarily have the experience either. So we're going to have to work through a lot of obstacles this season to get where we want to go. What do you think the biggest challenge is going to be for you this season as the first-year head coach at this institution? It's going to be getting us all working together. There's a lot of bumps in the road that we're going to face, both myself as a coach and our players. But I do feel that we have a good mix of the upperclassmen and their leadership and experience versus the younger group with the enthusiasm to have a good season. Having seen some of these younger players here from the get-go here in the first few weeks of the fall season, what do you view as the biggest needs for this team right now? Our biggest needs would just be to get on the field and start playing. Right now, just getting used to each other and everyone working together, it's different. And just playing for me is different. So, you know, we'll work through some of those things this coming week and next week. And we have a few scrimmages coming up this fall that we'll play together with a little bit, so that way we can work from there into our season. All right, let's go back to your background in softball. Of course, we've already mentioned that you were at Wingate University for quite some time. Give us a little bit about your background and what you've done over the last several years. Well, I've been a part of everything from Division I professional league to Division III. Also coached an 18-goal travel ball team for the past 3 years and played on a national level with that. So I've had a little bit of my hands in everything, whether it's defense, hitting, outfield, which I was never an outfielder. So, of course, that's been something new to me. But hopefully with that experience and having my hands in a little bit of everything, it will help us. Now you come to us with a lot of connections in terms of recruiting. What do you think is the toughest thing about recruiting? Is it selling the institution that you work for? Is it selling the program? What is the toughest thing that you've run into?
The toughest thing here would possibly be the location, especially in national recruiting and trying to get athletes in here. We are working on that right now. I mean, we've had athletes in from California, Texas, Florida already up to this point. So we will continue to work on that and recruiting nationwide. But other than that, I feel that when you win, it's a little bit easier to recruit. And so hopefully in the next few years, we'll make it in that direction.
Knowing the South Atlantic Conference as you do, obviously you know the caliber of competition that you're going to face from the start. You know, I know we're still in the fall season. It's unofficial season. Spring is your season. Looking ahead, who do you see as the contenders for the conference titles right now?
Well, that's hard to say. Our conference, there is a lot of parity in softball. Anybody can beat anybody. There's 5 new coaches. So to be honest, it is up in the air this year. Hopefully we're in the top of that.
When you talk about softball, in this area, even though softball has been around for several years now, fast pitch softball, basically in this area is still in its infant stages. You have some quality players throughout the state of Kentucky, throughout the state of Tennessee, but what do we need to do as parents, as people involved with the community to build awareness of girls fast pitch softball and to build this into a bigger atmosphere around here?
Definitely get more involved. Come out and watch games. Watch us play. Yeah, we will put on mini camps throughout the year, attend camp. Those types of things will help the athletes develop in a little bit faster pace than, you know, just staying in your local area, not necessarily getting out and playing travel ball. I know rec ball is a big deal in this area, but to play travel ball and to get out nationally and see what softball is like also on the West Coast, who has been into it for a while, will definitely help the development of our athletes.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, a lot of people come to the Harrogate or East Tennessee area from up in the northern states, Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Illinois, and they talk about how beautiful this area is, and it is beautiful. But when you look at it in the big picture, I mean, in a lot of ways, we're behind the times in a lot of things. And athletically, I can remember the first soccer match that I ever saw in my life was probably 1988. And at that time, it was a club sport here at Lincoln Memorial. Now soccer has been exposed to the national level here at Lincoln Memorial University, and typically we're among the nation's leading teams, both in men's and women's soccer. Softball, of course, we've seen some postseason play. Predominantly, it was in the Gulf South Conference, and at that time, I think we looked at the Gulf South as probably one of the toughest leagues in the country in Division II softball. University of Alabama, Huntsville, West Florida, teams like that. For you, Coach, coaching in the South Atlantic Conference, a league that isn't fully funded, right. You are expected to compete not only in the league but regionally, and we're competing against conferences and schools from other leagues that are fully funded, and that makes it tough.
It does make it tough. I don't think it's necessarily just the scholarships, the athletic scholarships that help you win. It's about filling yourself with great people and a great community, and we do that here at LMU.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but when you say that, the first thing that comes to mind for me is your coaching staff. Tell us a little bit. Now, we have an assistant coach that joined you from last year, but yes. You're newly acquainted with her, but you brought in a graduate assistant that you're familiar with, and tell us a little bit about your staff.
Okay. My first assistant, which would be Jen Cannell, who is a pitching coach for us, who was here last season. She has done a fantastic job up to this point helping develop our pitchers. We couldn't have asked for a better assistant and a more hardworking assistant that's done a great job for our team. And of course, she's same with the team, getting through some of the bumps in the road and getting to know each other. My graduate assistant, we've worked camps together, worked at Chapel Hill for a little bit together this summer, and just stayed acquainted throughout the year. And she is more than qualified to be our graduate assistant as one of the top hitters in the Big Ten, playing for Northwestern. She has brought a great deal of energy and knowledge to our hitting, and I think it's going to pay off for us.
And her name again?
Michelle Batts.
Michelle Batts. What a name for a softball player. Right. You got to love that.
That's right.
Coach, as not only the head coach, but taking over your first gig as head coach here, you wear so many hats on a daily basis. You're not only coach, you're kind of an advisor, you're a friend, etc. but you're also a groundskeeper, as we were watching yesterday. How is that for you to juggle?
You know, it's not anything different than what I'm used to at other college coaching positions. You just, that comes with the job. You get used to it, and you take pride in what you do. And so working on the field is honestly something I enjoy and take pride in. When the athletes come to the field, they feel like they're college athletes.
All right, we got about less than, say, 40 seconds. Okay. Over the next several weeks, you've got a fall schedule or some fall plans that you're going to do. Give us a brief synopsis of what's going to happen for the Lady Railsplitters.
Okay, on September 29th, we will play Walter State Community College here at home at 11 and 1 a.m. or 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Then on October 6th, we will play 2 travel ball programs who are coming in to do a small round robin tournament, and again, we will play at 11 and 1.
All right, well, Coach, listen, we want to wish you the best of luck, and we look forward to talking with you again here in studio in the upcoming weeks and hopefully carrying some games on the network.
Thank you.
Coach Natalie Layden, head coach of the Lady Railsplitter softball program. We're going to take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll tell you all about what's coming up in the next week here in LMU Athletics. Stay with us here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
Nestled at the foot of the Cumberland Gap, Lincoln Memorial University honors the vision and spirit of Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln's values are perfectly in sync with the modern educational experience at LMU. Our students find personal attention is a way of life and a way to success. If Lincoln Memorial University fits your vision of college, visit our website at lmunet.edu for more information.
Sigmund Communications is your local radio and television stations bringing your local information, local news, and the best music from yesterday and today. Sigmund Communications was established in 1987 on the campus of Lincoln Memorial University. Since then, we have been involved in community events and other projects. Sigmund Communications is not only your local radio and television stations, but we are a learning facility aimed at educating students in the field of broadcast communications. Sigmund Communications, not just the great building with satellites that sits on the hill.
We're now MediaStream, bringing home to you more and more improvements. As your hometown team, we're dedicated to bringing our friends and neighbors more service upgrades than ever before. Always available 24/7 customer service and technical support. 30-day money-back guarantee on services. Improved bundles that will save you money. Get ready to do more of the things you love with the people you love and with savings you'll love. Call 1-800-392-2662 for details. MediaStream, bringing it home to you.
Bringing it home to you.
Welcome back to the show. Again, special thanks to our guest on tonight's show, Natalie Layden, head coach of the LMU softball program. And if you'd like more information on the LMU softball program, you can phone the LMU Athletics Department at 423-869-6285. Robin Susong will answer that phone, and she'll put you in contact with Coach Layden. And then you can obtain all the information you need about the upcoming schedule for the spring and this fall season, and, of course, about the program itself. Again, as we mentioned earlier, the big news, the LMU men's basketball program will travel south to Tallahassee, Florida on October 30th to take on Florida State University in an exhibition game. I'm told we will have that audio coverage of that event, and we wish the Railsplitters the best of luck. Another big up-and-coming announcement here in the next week or so. Can't really divulge that, but I can tell you, you're going to see one of the LMU teams on national television. We'll tell you more about it hopefully next week. Until then, I'm Rusty Peace. Good night, everybody.